Good afternoon and welcome back to Asgard and welcome back to our All the Mods server play series. So I've been very busy since last episode and I decided to go ahead and give you guys a bonus episode today because I want to get something upgraded, and I figured, we spent all last episode as well as the 2 extra episodes, if you guys watched them. Of course we weren't able to actually use that, but we did spend like the last 3 videos for this series messing with power. And we're going to spend one more additional episode messing with power. But really quickly, I'll run you through everything I've done. For starters, I've got a couple pigs in here just because they kept hanging out around the house. And so I was like, okay, we'll keep you around. I did set up a painting machine right before this episode. I haven't started putting in our facades, but we do have that at the ready for when I start doing that. And then I also have all of our machines moved into this room, also our storage systems in here. I have an external storage attached to a cobble drawer. Now right now there's not a whole lot of cobble, but there will be fairly soon, because we're going to be setting up a cobble gen pretty quickly. Get the hell out of here. And let's see. Back here is pretty much the same. I did take out that door because it's fairly safe. You notice we have a roof now and all this is blocked in. I did go ahead and set up a tinker smeltery because we're going to be using a bit of manual today. And I spent a while farming cobalt and ardite out of the nether. So we have 9 blocks of manual, and then I still have like 5 ingots in there. I did set up the portal to the TSG base, so that way we can freely come and go as we please, and and that way they can come and visit us, which is the major benefit for it. And the major reason I wanted to get that set up, because I took the marker off, or I turned it off, but it's like 2,000 meters in that direction to the base. And I was actually hanging out with Jay Jones this morning. He just started playing on this server, so and let's see, I did move all that stuff out of here. I haven't moved this drawer yet, but I'll get that moved. Actually, I should probably get that moved right now, huh? Well, yes, I should. Yeah, because that substrate's building up. Okay, I'll get that moved really quickly. And let's see, we'll have it... Oh man, I hate trying to figure out where I want to pump these items out. We'll do output on the top, and then we'll do output on the bottom. But anyway, we're actually going to be jumping into some new mods today for our power generation, which I'm kind of excited about. I want it on output. There we go. And then I did set it to output. Okay. Good stuff. And then we'll just run item conduits out here. I want to disable that. We're going to extract on the brown channel, always active. And down here, we'll extract on brown, always active. And let's really quickly, let's get some packing tape. So, yeah, storage drawers. We're just going to need slime and paper. That's fine. The only thing is, do I have some paper, or will I have to run over? Let me see. Okay, we got paper. Good stuff. And slime. By the way, I did discover that the nether now has slime biomes. If you notice, I have like some congealed blood slime and congealed magma slime. That is from the nether. There is slime biomes down there now. So I found that very interesting. But we'll go ahead and use this packing tape here and move this storage drawer over just to get it kind of readjusted here. And let's set it I'll tell you what, we'll just set it right here, actually, for now. That's a temporary setup, but that's okay. That's okay. And we're going to say this is going to input on the brown channel, and then we'll bring our item conduit up. Okay, so now these should be getting drained, which that one is, and that one is. Good stuff. Alright, moving on. Also, it's crazy because we've been running those potatoes like really heavy, and we have 23,000 potatoes still. So, those potatoes, we're getting just an absolute ton of potatoes. It's ridiculous. And I'm going to do the floor in this room. I just haven't got to yet, because I've been using a lot of blocks, as you can tell. So I'm usually kind of tapped out on blocks. But if you notice, we have, if we look at our biofuel, we have 13,000. 13,500 biofuel. So, let's see, stack limit's 416. Straight. We have less of that than I thought, I guess. Okay. Anyhow, let's go ahead and move on. By the way, the Tinker Smeltery is pretty much identical to set up at this point. Now, I did notice that for one, the display is a little bit different. It tells you how many blocks, how many ingots, all that stuff. But also, when you create your alloys, it's not instantaneous like it used to be. So whenever I was cooking the cobalt and the ardite, they would be separated for a while, and then they'd slowly, like, nugget by nugget, kind of change over into manulin. So just a heads up on that. Other than that, it was pretty much identical. That's why I went ahead and just crafted it up off camera. I also put a drum here to collect our creosote out of the creosote oven. But the mod that we're going to be jumping into today is advanced generators. So basically this mod, if you recall, I was looking at it a little bit last episode as a possible power generation, and we are going to go with it because that liquid ethylene that we've been creating, I'm going to still dump it into these generators too, because I mean, honestly, this stuff goes so far. It's ridiculous. But I was looking at that ethylene, and running it through one of these is ridiculous efficiency. Just absolutely ridiculous. I want to say it's like, I can't recall. I'll check the numbers in a bit and let you guys know, but I think it was like 800,000 RF or something, or 8,000. I think it was 8,000 RF per millibucket or something. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous for every single millibucket. It was nuts. And these advanced generators are scalable. So I haven't created any turbines yet, but like, for example, the fluid intake valves, you can have up to 5 of those. You can have up to 6 flux generators, which is basically your power output. You can have up to 10 fuel tanks to increase the amount of fuel storage that you have. You can have up to 10 power capacitors, and there's different ranks and everything of those, and that's where your like internal storage for power goes. And then the turbines, you can have up to 50 of those. So if we take a look here really quick at advanced generators, like the turbine here, the one we're going to be making is this manulin turbine. It's very expensive, but I'm the type of person that really doesn't like to, like, there's iron ones and gold plated and all that stuff, and there's different RF. Like iron is 100 RF a tick at best, but this manulin one is up to 500 RF per tick. And there's also a vibrant one that does 500 RF a tick. So you can either do like vibrant setup. Enderium is another one. Enderium, vibrant, or manulin for 500 RF a tick. But I'm going to go with manulin because I think I like the colors for the turbines. And, oh, there's an upgrade kit. Well, that's sneaky. So sneaky. But that's okay. But I'm the type of person that really doesn't like to just waste a bunch of resources by making something and then remaking all of it. I didn't realize there was upgrade kits for it, but even still, we're going to go ahead and just jump on into the manual because it was just a bit of grinding, and that's all. But these things are fully modular, and when I first was looking at them, when I was looking at like the gas turbine controller, I was like, oh man, all this stuff looks hard to craft. It's not. Iron frames are like that for 2. You got control circuits that are like that. You've got these redstone iron wirings, and you get 16 of those per craft. And then there's the iron tubings. You get 16 per craft on those. Like it's actually fairly cheap to jump into. Now, we are going to need a couple of these advanced pressure tubes. Now, and it was for, let me find it here. Was it for the gas mix compressor? Yeah, it's for the gas mix compressor. Basically, there's these 2 modules that you can attach to it as well that increase your fuel efficiency. So the first one is 135% fuel efficiency, and I think base it's 115%, if I recall from I was reading on the wiki for it. So this will bump it up to 135%. It's fairly cheap. Honestly, you'd be crazy not to craft it, I think. And then there's the fuel air mixer. No, I'm sorry. There's the gas mix compressor. It's a little bit more expensive, mainly because these advanced pressure valves, but it does increase the fuel efficiency to 185%. But these advanced pressure valves, at first I was kind of concerned because you needed advanced alloy, but I noticed we can do this in the alloy smelter with vibrant alloy. So that's how we're going to do it. Let's get ourselves 16 vibrant alloys. And we will get this going. And I did go through and upgraded pretty much our entire power system. We have vibrant capacitor banks all the way down through the system. So, you know, we do have that going for us now. And that's going to help us actually send the power a bit better. So, let's go ahead and look into making our manual and turbines. So all of this stuff, like I said, is fairly cheap except for the manual and turbine rotors. These are a little bit more expensive, but it's mainly just a bunch of manual. So let's go ahead and convert all of that. So we've got a little bit of manual. It's not great, but I'll keep adding to it, of course, because like I said, I mean, you can just throw these things together and let me actually do that. And that. Okay. But you can just throw these things together and then add on to them as you know, get the resources and everything. So that's pretty much going to be our goal. I does believe. And let me go ahead and surround that there. And then let's see how much manual do we have at the moment. Okay, we still got quite a bit in here. Whoops. Can I put it like that? Oh no, it has to be like that. Okay, I think we have the materials for possibly another one, actually. Let's see, 510. No, I think that's... Oh yeah, we have enough. Okay. Good stuff. So we're going to have, what, 7 of these turbines? Which isn't bad to start out with, because you're talking if it's running at like full efficiency, you're talking about, what I say, 7 of them? That's 3,500 RF a tick, so not bad. Not bad. Or full power, not full efficiency. And let's see. So we got 4. Then I've got 5 nuggets. I've almost got enough for another batch, for another turbine. Alright. So we got our advanced pressure valve. So let's go ahead and get this other upgrade. Because I figured, you know, honestly, with the fuel that we're using, you really don't. I don't feel like you really have to have this, because honestly this is extremely fuel efficient as is, but we might as well do it. we'll get the most out of our fuel. Honestly, with this fuel, chances are, even with just, you know, the two of them creating the liquid ethylene, I imagine we could probably run a couple of these turbines, realistically. Alright, let me see here. Can I rotate? Yeah, okay. That's what I want to do. And we'll set up our turbine like right here. Let me go ahead and fill in some of this dirt. Like I said, I'll end up actually adding real people floors on this place, but not yet. And so from the way I understand it, we can just build this however we desire. Oh yeah, I didn't make the actual turbines. I just made the turbine blades. I apologize. So let's get our turbines very quickly. And these are fairly cheap to craft, actually. And let me get some more of these iron frames. Oh, I'm out of iron. Oh no. That's okay. I haven't started processing like all of my metals just yet because, whoops, because we're going to be setting up ore quintupling very soon. Okay, just grab a block of iron because there's enough resources over here to kind of keep us going. And then once we get the ore quintupling set up, I don't think people are or I think people are going to probably come over here and probably grab some resources once that's set up. Because once we get the ore quintupling set up and everything, and we have this nice power system and all that good stuff, we will set up some really big like quarries. Probably the RF Tools quarry, because it seems to be extremely powerful. I just want to have a place for all the, you know, all the just shit that we're going to be getting to go. And as it stands right now, you know, I wanted to get a good power source and all that good stuff. But honestly, once we get this set up, I think we're going to be solid for a bit, because we're already generating about 1,000 RF a tick with those two little, these two little guys. These not heat generators, gas burning generators, and of course the molten or the liquid ethylene. I mean, you can hear it like it'll kick on just meh, meh, meh. Like it's barely using anything right now. So the way I understand it, we can just set this up however we so desire. So I did get, let's go ahead and just set up our, I guess we'll do our turbines like right, I don't know, I guess right here. I don't know if they need to be on top. I don't know. It just, when I looked on the wiki, it just said you can just build it however. So I was like, okay. Sounds good to me. Not a valid machine. Not connected to a valid machine. Okay. Let's do the fluid intake. We'll set that like right up here, I think. And I went ahead and made two of them. I really don't think we're going to need two of them with this, but we could just throw it on there. Gas mix compressor. Alright, we'll stick that there. Sounds good. Actually, no. We shouldn't put it right there. I'm just sticking shit wherever at this point. Alright, we'll stick that right there, and then we'll put the fuel air mixer here. And then we'll put our power capacitor here. We'll put our fuel tanks here. And then we'll put our flux generator here. And then I guess we'll just stick, let's see, I think that's everything that we need. We'll just stick our controller here. Yeah, and it turns into a multi-block. So there we go. It works. And then we can just keep scaling this, because like if you take a look here, you'll notice it says, yeah, it says can be installed in on the tooltip, and it says gas turbine controller 1 to 50. So you can have anywhere between 1 to 50 turbines in this thing. And like I said, I mean, altogether you'd have, if you put everything on this, you'd have like over 100. Hell, you'd have like over 100 block multi-block. It's crazy. So I really like this actually. We are going to need a way to get the liquid in there, but really quickly, let's take a look at the GUI here. This is going to be our fuel levels, and then of course that's just fuel's going into the turbine. This is your energy. So it looks like by default it has 100,000 RF storage. So, and then we put a vibrant bank on it. So we got an additional 25,000. And then, like right here, connected turbines, there's 7 manual turbines. At peak production, we're going to be producing 3,500 RF per tick. Peak fuel consumption, we have fuel efficiency of 185%. Current production, nothing. And then we got current fuel consumption. And, yeah. So I guess that's all we need to do over there. I've got energy conduits on me. Let's go ahead and make some pressurized tubes. And honestly, once again, we've already got 7 of them. I really don't think we need the advanced ones for this. At least not right now. I'm not too concerned about that because unless the numbers were just way off, this thing's not even going to be touching any amount of fuel. So, not too concerned with that. Oh, but that's a problem. It doesn't want to actually hook into these pressurized tubes. Let's see. These are kind of weird to break sometimes, I've noticed. There we go. Okay, let's take a look here. So, ethylene, we've got... Okay, we need liquid ethylene, I think. So we need to run our ethylene through a rotary condensator to get our liquid ethylene. So let's go get a rotary condensator really quick. I actually did spend a while doing chisels and bits, but then I took it apart because I was like, I actually don't want this in this room. But luckily it saves the block that you make. I want to use it in a different room, but I don't want to use it in the room that I was actually, originally crafting it or setting it up in. So, we'll need that, basic fluid tank. Why won't you open? Oh, it's because it's in here. I swear, this NEI drives me fucking bonkers. Alright, so we should be... No, somehow we're not. Okay. We need sand. Shine, please. And no, I want that on furnace mode. And I've been breaking down some gravel to get sand, and then breaking that sand down to get silicon. We really do need to set up our cobble gen fairly quickly. And I'm actually probably going to take it a step further with this, and we'll have that silicon get, crafted down to our storage mod stuff. There's our rotary condensator. What did he say? I spent yesterday landscaping town and setting up a new secret base. Okay. So let's go set up our rotary condensator. We'll put it... I know this is kind of a mess right now because I kind of... I'm kind of learning all this stuff, so I'm kind of just building it out, and then we'll fine-tune it all later. Of course, this multi-block's just going to get bigger and bigger, so we shall see. We'll set up the rotary condensator there. I'm just going to turn this, actually, and then we will run this over here. Let's run our power line, and then we'll just connect our tube, well, let's see. How do you want to face? That be the question. There we go. So now it is creating liquid ethylene. And honestly, I would love to have this stuff in a drum. Tell you what. Let's adjust this a little bit. So we'll put our flux generator like right here. And then we'll put our fluid intake. Let's see, we would have it pipe out. Maybe put a drum here and then have the fluid intake will be right here, and then we'll have another fluid intake over here. Alright. And there we go. So it works. I love it because you can just put these blocks however you want, and you know, it's gonna work. That's great. Great stuff. Alright, so now that we've got that, let's go get a drum really quick, because I want to go ahead and just stockpile a shit ton of this liquid ethylene, just to do it, honestly, at this point, because like the way it's set up, it's not going to run out unless somebody just comes over and TNTs the shit out of our potatoes or something. That would be the only way this fuel system would go down. Well, I guess we could technically run out of cobble right now, but not for much longer. So, and by the way, when I was in the Nether, I found over a stack of oh, did I not make the actual drum? Okay, I found over a stack of Nether diamond, which actually makes, you know, it makes more than I can't remember exactly how much at full potential, but it does make quite a bit of diamonds per Nether ore, and we have quite a bit of it. Quite a bit, indeed. Alright, we'll put that there. Oh, I forgot to grab some kind of fluid tubing. So let's go with conduits. I like conduits. We'll go with ender fluid conduits. And we'll get this thing running. I'm really excited to see this thing run. So, yeah. So see, it's slowly making liquid ethylene. I'll probably maybe add speed upgrades. I don't know. Because like the way I understand this, it's not really going to mess too much with our setup. But we shall see. Oh, you know what? I think it's going to go here. You go there. There we go. And, okay, so we're getting our liquid ethylene, and then we'll just pump it out into this. And there we go. So it has space right now for 49,000 millibuckets. And if you notice, it's generating RF now at 3,500 RF per tick. So that's actually rather quick. And you'll notice, if we look here, it's still coming out positive on liquid ethylene. And this thing doesn't even have any speed upgrades in it, like right now. Like right now, it's using 0.2 to 0.4 millibuckets per tick. And let's see, peak fuel consumption. Okay, at best, it's going to consume 0.32 millibuckets per tick. That's like how efficient this is. Like it makes so much power per millibucket. I want to say it's like 6,000 or 8,000, something like that. It's quite a bit. And then of course we're generating a lot of power here. So the flux generator, for now I'm just gonna run this over. And if you notice, it does change, like the color changes. Basically what that means, depending on, you can hook, from what I understand, you can hook like any kind of cable into this. You could hook industrial craft, you can hook the Ender energy conduits, you can hook something else. I'm trying to think of what it is. Anyway, basically you can hook any kind of power up to this, and it will generate that power type. And when you plug in, say, the Ender energy conduit, it's going to turn red, and so that's going to signify that this is RF. And I think blue is industrial craft, and then I can't remember what the other one is off the top of my head. Actually, I could probably look like right here. I think the mechanism stuff. Yeah, it's fucking T or joules, something. Anyway, there's another power type. I can't think of what it is off the top of my head. But at least, basically, you can just plug power in and just, it's going to work. But we'll go ahead and plug that up. And it's still generating positive. These may all be filled up. I don't know by this point. Because honestly, these things generate quite a bit. So we've got, as it stands right now, we've got about 4,500 RF per tick that's just plugged up in that room. So between the... okay, that's not GOTS power at the moment. That does. I wonder why this one is like not getting any power. I have no clue. Actually, I don't know. Let's see. Why you don't get power? God, so much liquid ethylene. Alright. And then if we look over here, like, it's not even scratching this. Like, this stuff is so efficient, it's insane. It's so efficient. I imagine this will get power, I know for a fact, because it's been sending power just fine over to here. It may just be... I don't really know why this isn't sending power anymore. Why this isn't getting power. Let me try breaking these really quick. It may just be bugging out, or it may just be taking it a second to you know, to send the power over and everything. I don't know. I mean, this one's getting filled up as soon as it uses anything. This one, yeah, I mean, all the potatoes are growing and everything like mad right now. Well, if I was to break this, let's see what happens. I see it's still not generating any kind of power. It's so weird. Why it's doing that, I don't know. Alright, give me just a second to figure this out, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, welcome back. I guess it was because these blocks were here, and it was blocking the line ran through it just fine, because I'd put it down before, but as soon as I removed those blocks, it started running again. So I guess you can't cover those over. I remember having that issue in the past, not being able to cover them over. It still feels like the transfer is a little bit slow. I don't know if I'll end up being able to use these MV wires or not. We'll see. Like, it's really janky. I may just have to run conduits. But like if we look over here, this is getting 1,024 RF per tick. So I don't know where all that power's going. I mean, it's pretty much just running through here and across. So I don't know. I mean, nothing over here is really running, but I'll play around with it. I may end up just running conduits across and just be done with it. I could run them across that beam there and then facade it. So I might do that. But I do know it's about wrapping up point. I want to keep this episode about 30 minutes. So, but at least we have a new power system that once I get once I get it kind of fleshed out and fine-tuned and get this cabling worked out, I think it's going to be really massive power generation. So, and it's basically going to give us a really good power grid to start with. And then honestly, if this gets up and running, We could run this and all of that, and probably add another like multi-block here, and just have this like crazy power rooms. Both of these, and have just an insane power grid. So we'll definitely aim for that. Where are they spawning from? What the hell? Oh, he came... No? I don't know. Because that's all lit up too. I don't know. But anyway, I am going to end the episode out there. If you guys enjoyed it, as always, be sure and hit that like button. And go ahead and subscribe if you're not already for more daily videos. And feel free to comment and let me know what you think about the video and the power system and everything so far. The base is slowly coming along. You know, this side, I've got it lit up. I'm starting to work on roofs and whatnot. So it's just a matter of getting all that alabaster that we need. So we got a little bit in here. And yeah, so I'm going to try to work on the floors a little bit. And next episode, I'm debating, like, I want to set up a cobble gen, like ASAP. But I feel like we could probably set a cobble gen up. I don't know. We may set up a cobble gen next episode, or we may start an ore quintupling. Those are the two major things I want to jump into fairly quickly. So, because now we have the power for pretty much whatever we want to at the moment. So, and after we get the ore quintupling set up, we will set up a you know, a really big quarry and everything, and get that going. So anyway, I hope you guys join me for next, or I hope you guys join me next time. And you know, if you have a preference, if you want me to do a cobble gen with the whole like silicone and processors and all that stuff, we're gonna go really overboard with it. You know, let me know in the comments what you'd rather see. And then otherwise I'm just going to do whatever I want to do. But anyway, I hope you guys join me for next time. And until then, as always, do take care. And I hope to see you guys then.